Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining me. Today's video is going to be hella intense. I would like to make a couple of disclaimers. First of all, I have some Tibetan incense going here. As I was shuffling, I was getting so angry. Today's video is centered around how to heal your depression. The disclaimers include, please go to therapy. I am dealing with the spiritual root. I firmly believe that Western medicine and practices have their place in this world. I've been to therapy. It has been life transformational. If you are severely depressed, I will leave some links down below. Please check those out if you feel like you need them. Please do not close your mind off to therapy. However, I know that some people prefer to deal with the spiritual root, and also that not everybody can afford therapy. I am not a therapist. I do not have a degree in any sort of therapy nor counseling. This is simply looking at the spiritual root of your depression. And that root, according to spiritual practices, is always unresolved or unprocessed anger. So today we're going to look at, and specifically anger that you don't necessarily feel like you have a right to. So we're going to look and see what that might be for you, and also how you can start the process to heal that. If you're interested in a private reading, I do offer those, and I will have all of that information down below as far as how you can get in contact with me and prices and all that good stuff. So without further ado, here are the piles, and I will see you in your group. This is pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just take a second, clear your mind, meditate, whatever you want to do. And when you are ready, I will see you in your group. Group number 1. I wish you guys could see what the incense is doing right now. Okay, because this is such a heavy topic, I do want to make sure that I give you guys information to know whether or not this is the group for you. Maybe it's not. This specifically has to do with a mother energy. The root of this anger comes from something involving childhood. And what keeps you angry about it is, despite, how successful you can be in some areas of your life, you still feel like nothing that you do is good enough. Okay. And again, that goes back to this feminine energy here. We have key and we have bear in reverse. Bear represents a mother figure, and then we have key, and this card is about moving forward. So you are unable to move forward in your life due to what this mother figure put you through, and you've got to feel these feelings. Anger doesn't go anywhere. It turns into depression when we don't deal with it. You have to feel angry about it if you want to work through this depression that you have. And again, please see a therapist if you feel like you're going to need help through this journey, and there is no shame in that. It's also what's blocking your financial success. So if you find yourself constantly broke or not understanding why you don't have this money that you know that you should have, for instance, if you have a steady job but you seem to never have enough money, this situation is blocking the flow of your money. We have fall, feminine, money, run, and negative, and punish, and these are all keyword cards that I made. So what I'm getting here is that it has to do with the way your mother punished you. And it's almost like in your adult life, you've been waiting on those punishments to come through, and your brain children need discipline. It's a fact. We need guidance. We need boundaries. We need all of those things. But the way your mother specifically punished you has set you up for failure. Okay. And the way that you are going to overcome this is by understanding that you are now a grown-up. It's possible that you also deal with anxiety just based on some of what's coming out here. But look, we have deep freeze in reverse, dragon's lair, solitude in reverse, come together, reconnect. Okay. If you're not speaking with your mother, this is sort of the universe's way of asking you to work through the problems that you have and reconnect. Because in your specific case, reconnecting is going to be how you start to heal this. If you've cut this person out of your life, please understand, for some of you, you're not going to need to reconnect. If anything, that could make it worse, and it's possible that you'll just need to let it go. However, you have clicked on this group for a specific reason, and it is encouraging you to reconnect with this person. It's possible that this person has changed, your mother. If your mother has passed away, it could be that you're holding on resentment, and you have to feel that angry. You can be angry that they were taken away from you. not feeling that and not getting really mad about it, again, is just setting up this system of depression, because that is your way of dealing with it, since you're not actually dealing with the anger. It's also sort of taking your spark away. Let's see, we have 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's like you're not sure that you can mentally invest in reconnecting with this person. If you've never just like pitched a fucking fit about this situation, now would be a good time to do that, to really feel that anger. And again, you may need guidance through this process. Sometimes we can get trapped in that anger, which would have the exact opposite effect. But this is really just to guide us. This is really just to give you a guidance, a starting point of how to overcome this depression. We also have the moon here, so I feel like there were certain aspects within this relationship that were hidden from you. You know, maybe you were sent outside while they did drugs, or maybe you were lied to a lot. And it seems like it was a lot of like negative reinforcement, where maybe you didn't get told, you know, when you were doing a good job or that they were proud of you, and it was just constant negative reinforcement. And that has been the system that you've started seeking out in your adult life. And that's not really the way the adult world works. And so when you can't find that, your subconscious mind is still searching for that, and when you can't find it, you get angrier, but what you're feeling is depression. We have wide open here, which is really just signifying the fact that you're a grown-up now. Sometimes it's as simple as telling our minds, hey, we grew up, we survived, and we can let go of those old coping mechanisms. But in order for you to truly let that go, you're gonna have to feel what you feel. We have trust, and the note on this card is the robin trusts her wings and not the branch she sits on. I think that because you're so concerned with seeking out this pattern of negative reinforcement externally, that you don't trust yourself. And again, this all goes back to this system of punishment and negative reinforcement that was set up for you in childhood by your mother figure. And that's really making sense with the 8 of Pentacles here. This is all about putting in hard work. So it's like, it's almost like subconsciously you feel like no matter what you do, it's just not good enough. And that's because traditional praise, traditional means of success don't mean anything to you, because you are set up to appreciate negative reinforcement. You are constantly seeking out negative reinforcement, which really plays towards depression, because you do not feel good. It's almost like you're friends with your depression in a way, because it gives you that feeling that you are subconsciously searching for in everyday life. I also feel like due to this, you're not really able to hold down a steady job or keep relationships in your life, because you get very restless, because again, you're seeking out negative reinforcement. And it's as simple as that for you guys. You know, I mean, some of these I know are going to go like really nitty gritty and deep and, you know, really heartfelt, but I feel like you guys might have a depression where it's like nobody really understands why you're so depressed. You may not even understand why you're so depressed, because outside of this negative reinforcement pattern, you may have had a good childhood and you may have had a good mother, and she may just have not known the proper way to guide you in life, and she set up this unintentional or intentional system of negative reinforcement. I feel like once you're aware that you're seeking out negative reinforcement, and that's when you can't find that, that's when you get restless. That's when you change jobs or you let a relationship fall by the wayside, because they're not giving you, it got you addicted to it in some way. And I'm not sure, perhaps that was really the only time you got attention, since they weren't really open with you and, you know, good about telling you when they were happy with you or proud of you. It's almost like the only time they really showed you attention is when they were telling you what not to do and how to do something better, or, you know, it's just this constant feeling of like not feeling good enough. But because that was the only intention, that's what you look for, that's what you seek. So that's probably exactly how you become friends with your depression, quote unquote, and why, you know, I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder for you to move on from this depression, heal this depression, because it's your comfort, it's your safety net. But anyways, back to what I was saying. When the only reason you get jobs and you start new relationships is because you're seeking that negative reinforcement, but your friends aren't going to do that to you. They're not going to just negatively reinforce you. And so you feel like there's something missing in the connection. But I really think in this group, in this situation, it's just going to take a good look at that and then beginning the process of letting it go. I actually think that let it go came out. Let's see. Yeah, let go. And if, you know, if you are still talking to your mother, and this isn't talking about reconnecting the relationship with your mother, it's talking about reconnecting yourself with the part that baseline before that system was created for you. It's just going to take a little bit of awareness of understanding what you're doing. When you feel that moment of restlessness and you feel that moment of like wanting to take something out of your life because you're not getting what you feel you need to get, nobody that loves you, I mean, I hate to say that because I'm sure that your mother loved you, but like as adults, we tend to navigate the world differently, especially in interpersonal relationships with other adults. Like you just don't go around. Some people do, but those are quite toxic people. I don't think your mother, for some of you, you did just have shit mothers. And those are the ones of you that aren't even speaking to your mother right now. And in that case, I don't necessarily think it would be a good idea for you to reconnect, but for some of you, you had a good mom. And so perhaps to you and to everybody else, your depression doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because like you had a good childhood. Like, you know, you were fine, quote unquote. But it's just set up a really negative system for you to try and navigate life through that lens. So that's all that I have for you guys. Just bring some awareness back. Meditate, ask your guides, whatever the situation may be for you and what you personally believe in, to show you how to let that go. But that is your starting point. It's something that needs a closer look at. And that was all. I do hope that I will see you in the next one. And I appreciate you for letting me read your cards today. Number 2, let's see what is going on. There's definitely a man involved here, okay? It's possible that a masculine figure that you looked up to passed away, or you were dealing with a masculine figure who was not nice, not a kind person, actually. You know, maybe, okay, trigger warning. If you're not ready, don't watch this because there's some stuff here. If you're not dealing with someone who passed away, and I feel like that's only going to be like 1 or 2 of you, then you are dealing with a masculine figure who didn't do right by you. And your mother let it happen. Okay, we have Daughter of Pentacles. I believe this is signifying you. We have the High Priestess in reverse. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Swords, and we have Mother of Cups in reverse. And then we have Man. Okay, this is a shit show because I really feel like the source of your depression, and this is one of those groups where you fucking know the problem, right? Okay, so I feel like if it wasn't your father, because we don't necessarily have a father card here, there was a masculine figure in your life who abused you. Now, if that's not relevant for you, pick another pile. This isn't the one for you. But for those of you that are still here, I feel like your mother turned a blind eye towards it. And that has stopped you from being able to trust your intuition. And what's crazy is the High Priestess here, you could be so incredibly powerful. So it's like, because you are innately in tune with this power, because you're not using it to your benefit, this power belongs to you. So it's being used towards your detriment rather than your benefit. So you probably have a very, very severe case of depression. And I would say some anxiety too, because we have 9 of Swords. This shit keeps you up at night. You know, you're just plagued with this underlying like unsettledness, and it's because you don't trust anything. You don't know how. One healing technique I think that would be really good for you is to, and there's a name for this kind of therapy. Again, I feel like you guys would benefit from a therapist. Maybe you've tried therapy, hasn't worked for you, maybe you can't afford therapy, so we're going to do the best we can today with these cards. But going back in time and you being there for the child that this happened to, you can go back. You could do like a regression therapy video on YouTube, again, at your discretion. Please don't get yourself in a wormhole that you can't get out of. This stuff can be dangerous if you don't handle it right. But going back in time and hugging this little girl, nobody was there for you. And it's okay to mourn that and to cry for her and to hug her. You can love, you as an adult can go back in your thoughts and be there for that little girl. Because it has completely, look, we have the magician here. Because you're so powerful, you can absolutely do this. You could probably astral project to that timeline if that's something that you believe in or are interested in learning how to do, because your power is there. And what's so sad about that is that power is not being your friend right now, because it's being used towards your detriment, towards these plaguing thoughts. And I would be willing to bet you actually attract even more negative situations into your life because you're a powerful manifester. All these anxieties that keep you up at night, it's being reflected back to you from the universe because you're so in tune with your power. So you really have to correct this line of thinking so that you can stop bringing more shit upon yourself. You're probably the kind of person where you're kind of like what else could go wrong, or like, you know, when something does go wrong, you're like, of course, like my fucking luck, or like, why me, like why is this my life? It's because you're so fucking powerful and so in tune with your energy, but you don't realize it and you're not using it towards your benefit. It's using you in a negative way because of all this pent up anger. We have mountain and we have coffin. I'm gonna dive into that a little bit deeper. We have man and we have letter. Not only did this man take advantage of you, for some of you, you could be dealing with a female abuser, or, you know, yeah, I think you could be. But this person was so sneaky because they would like offer you stuff, you know, maybe after it happened or leading right up to, but I will say, and I think it's due to your power, you do have this guiding force that looks out after you. And if you call on that, like that thing is going to show up. It's going to be different for all of you. It could be like a guardian angel, a spirit guide, a pet, like whatever the situation may be. But you have something that's been with you through your whole life. Could be a spider. If you guys like kept a tarantula, or literally a cat, you know, sometimes these are literal, sometimes they're metaphorical, but there's been something there. Now, I just want to like look at the keyword cards that I have. We have soon, we have message, and look, we have a message on this card too. It's possible that this person's going to reach out to you. And perhaps that's why you're here, to get you mentally prepared for that. If you haven't heard from this person, you might run into them at the grocery store. It's somebody that you don't want to see. And I think that that's probably why the universe brought you to this video, so you can work on feeling that anger now. That way it doesn't completely blindside you if you do see them. Okay, soon, message, shady, transform, blossom, nourish, now, time, clean, mindful, sex, shadow. It's also irrevocably fucked with your sex life, like your healthy sex life as an adult. And because this has been so repressed, it's gonna take you a lot of shadow work to get back even to a baseline. So I would recommend therapy for you. I'm recommending that in all of these groups due to the nature of it, but it's gonna be a long process. You have buried this so deep that it's locked off. I think that's what this is saying, really. This coffin card, it's so repressed and so buried deep that it's got nails in it. You know, it's gonna take so much time, but that not feeling that and not dealing with that is the hurdle to all of your problems. Okay. And this person, like, because you don't trust your intuition anymore, you kind of feel alone in life. We have one ring circus. You feel like you can't trust anybody. Because I think maybe, for some of you, you trusted this person. For some of you, you didn't necessarily trust them. But the fact that, like, nobody really heard you out or nobody really dealt with the issue properly left you feeling like you can't trust anybody. And we have goblins here. I said that really weird. We have goblins here. It's in reverse. In this specific deck, there's another card that's the home card. Now, the goblins have went through and chewed up the home, okay? This does represent inner demons. It can represent self-sabotage. But I think in this specific case, it's more the metaphor of, like, Our bodies are where we live. If we don't have anything, we have our body, and that was defiled. So I also feel like you might use escapism because you don't feel safe in your own body. And mending that relationship with your body is going to realistically be the first place that you have to start. Understanding that it is your body, understanding that you can come back into your body. It's possible that you deal with disassociation, or that you have ADD, or something that keeps you out of your body. You constantly looking at a phone, or constantly watching TV because, or even recreational drugs. You're trying to leave your body because it doesn't feel like home to you anymore. The first thing you're going to have to do is come back to your body, understand that it is your home, and maybe you're unhappy with it, and that you're angry. Maybe you don't treat your body right because that's the one fucking thing that you had. If you didn't have anything else, be mad at that. That's okay to feel mad at that, because after you feel really fucking mad at it, then you can begin to deal with it. You can't deal with this until you understand why you're angry. Okay. You are going to need a little encouragement. Again, I recommend therapy, a close friend, whatever the situation may be. And these are kind of little cards that I pulled on, where do we start? Okay, we have caution. Tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. Take this in baby steps. Like I said, this shit is so repressed and so buried that if you go ripping those fucking nails off, I feel like it's going to do you more harm than good. So baby steps. We have hope. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. I can't talk today. Kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. Respite, whatever. Be compassionate with yourself along this journey. Don't feel guilty for being mad at your body. You have to let go of all guilt and shame. You have to let go of all fear of feeling what you feel. I feel like you guys are going to need to pitch a really big fit, have a couple of good cries, like beat this shit, go to one of those smash rooms. Like there's all kinds of like trances that you can get into. That's one of my favorite forms of meditation is trance dancing. It does not going to work for everybody, but for some of you, I feel like, I don't know, I felt called to say that. So look that up, like letting your emotions go through your body. And that's going to be one way that you can make that your home again. But make sure that you're just being so gentle with yourself. Change. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. Forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. I feel like this is saying like this happened to your body, but this is still where you live. You have to start taking that back, like clear out the thorns. You can prune. It's your own fucking house, right? It's your own fucking rose bush. Prune it, de-thorn it. Like, and that's so much easier said than done. I realize that. Again, therapy. Flow. Go with the flow as water trickles down a stream. Do not hurry. That goes back to this trance dancing. I feel like at least one of you out there, this is gonna be right up your alley. When you get into a form of trance through dancing and you let the energy flow, a lot of times we carry trauma in our pelvis. And so getting that feminine flow back through pushes that energy out that you've been hanging on to. And then we have music. Yeah. There's a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. I keep getting dance. Like, get that flow going, get the energy flowing back so that you can come back home. That is gonna be your first step. Before dealing with this shit, this mountain, this locked up coffin, you have to come back to your body. And dancing and bringing yourself into the moment is going to be painful enough in itself because you've stayed out of your body so long that your body probably doesn't even feel like home to you anymore. That's going to be your first step. This will probably be like an ongoing, like once a month sort of check-in thing. And maybe some of the other videos can help you, but that's going to be the first step in pulling you out of this depression, is to sink back into your body and make it your home again. So that's all that I have. I love you guys. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I hope that I will see you in the next one. All right, group number 3. Let's see what's going on here. Automatically, we have a feminine energy, a younger feminine energy here. Oh, 2. Maybe you have a sister or like a close childhood best friend. Okay. These are what I pulled to kind of help us through the situation. These are letting us know more about it. Okay. I feel like the source of your depression could be a relationship with your sister, or possibly a mother involved, like possibly a mother meddling in the lives of sisters, or it could do with a best friend that you had. Not even necessarily when you were younger. I mean, we do have two younger energies represented here, but sometimes that just can denote like emotional immaturity. Daughter of Wands and Daughter of Cups. So this person is passionate, a go-getter. This one, it tends to be more emotional. So I think you guys counterbalance each other. Now, if none of this is resonating with you, I don't know, the message still might, but I would pick another one and see if that's sort of, if something else is seeming more relevant, because I did pull these to be pretty specific. So we have two feminine energies. We have the Empress. We have the Empress in reverse. And I can't at this moment deduce if this is another person involved in the situation, or if this is just showing sort of part of the wreckage that's happened through this. We have Justice in reverse, and then we have somebody, it was a backstabber, okay? In some way, shape, or form, there was a backstabber, because we have Seven of Swords here, and you want revenge. And that is creating you to act in self-sabotaging ways. You have to understand that this is done, this relationship between these two people. Now, if you're still in this, you need to cut it off, because all that it's doing, if you are like still seeking out revenge, it's never gonna happen. Not the way you want it to, and it's only stopping you from your progress. So I would let that go. I mean, I know that that's easier said than done, but you're acting in ways that are sabotaging the rest of your life, and you have this whole other path you could take, okay? Now, I get why you want justice. You want to protect this piece of you that they stabbed in the back. Again, if you're not dealing with a backstabber, maybe go pick another one, because this is the source of your depression. And or maybe you stabbed them in the back, and that would perhaps be why you don't feel like you have a right to this anger, because you know that you did something wrong, or this sadness, you know. Sadness and anger, I feel like, are kind of on the same spectrum in certain situations. But it could be that. It could be that you kind of fucked up and you want this person back in your life, and you're just going to have to understand and be mad at the fact that they're not, and then work on moving on. Because we have Two of Wands, and this card always signifies to me like letting life happen to you and going out and happening to life. But in this case, on the typical Rider-Waite, there's a wand like bolted to the wall, and then I think he's holding another one. So it's sort of like you're stuck in this old energy of dealing with this connection, and all it's doing is creating more anger, more sadness, more depression, when you could be taking this other path and creating a different life for yourself. We have Wheel of Fortune, that you've got to change your perspective on things. You have to change your sails in the wind, like go towards something else, work towards something else. You've spent so much time working on this relationship in some way, shape, or form, working on the revenge, working on, you know, this, that, and the third, whatever the situation may be. And that's just creating more mountains out of molehills, or more obstacles that you have to overcome. Let's see, we have Seven of Cups. If I'm not mistaken, I want to look up what this means in this specific deck. Okay, that's just more about illusion and deception, which has already come out. Again, there was shit that you didn't know, which is further validated. We have lilies and we have moon here. And what this is saying is it's time to take a retreat from this illusion and from this deception. It's time to walk away from that. Garden deals with friendship and communication. And then we have birds here. Free yourself out of the cage. You've done nothing but create a bigger cage for yourself. Again, you either need to forgive yourself for what you did and understand that it's done. No matter what you do, it's done. And you can be mad at that. You have to feel that, even if you feel like you don't have a right to it. Or it's just time that you let this revenge go, this need for justice. And I have a card over here that says Spirit of Place in reverse. It's not your place. And that might be a hard pill to swallow. It's not your place to take care of this person or make this person feel justice or get this person back. And definitely if you're not actually doing anything, if you're just sitting around hoping and wishing, that's taking up free space in your mind and just setting you up for failure. The universe is kind of saying, like, we're going to handle this. It's not your place to handle this. And also, it could be doing you a favor. If you've never heard the parable of maybe, definitely look that up. Something about like a dad and he gets a horse or no, wait, okay, I'm fucking with the story. His son goes and there's a horse and the neighbor's like, well, what good luck? And the neighbor's like, maybe. And then the horse runs away. What bad luck? And the guy's like, maybe. And then the horse comes back with more horses. And your neighbor's like, what good luck? And the dad's like, maybe. But then his son gets hurt on the horse. And then the neighbor's like, what bad luck? And the dude's like, maybe. And because his son was broken, he couldn't go to war. I'm fucking that all the way up. But basic premise is there. All of this may have had to happen for a reason that you can't see clearly yet. So the universe is saying it's not your place to be worried about this. Like, you have other things that you need to do. You need to oh my God, yeah, look, education. It's all going to come out. You're going to see why this had to happen. The universe is going to make that be known, but right now you have to put this to bed and clear these thoughts out of your head. Feel what you feel, but then, start the process of letting it go. We have metamorphosis here. You're going to go through such a big change, and then this Empress card is going to flip, whoop, and you'll be up in your power, in the right energy. Look, we have forget, silence, and fear. Now, this is some weird energy. These are the keywords. I don't know. Are you speaking about it too much? Are you fearful of letting this go? Okay, perhaps you're scared you will forget and you want to remember what you went through. Maybe so that you don't repeat the lesson. Like, starting the process of moving on doesn't mean you have to forget it. Like, forgive and forget. Sometimes you can forgive and definitely still remember and use that as a source of discernment for the rest of your connections. Okay, so here's some cards on positive things that we can do. We have adventure, live wild and free yourself from this. The night, find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. Idle hours, take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. Path, wander on the path less traveled, what you find might surprise you. That goes back to that Two of Wands card. Take a new path. Maybe all of this healing, maybe all of this justice that you've been trying to take into your own hands by negative thinking, maybe that's all going to be down the road for you in this new path. Friends, the most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on hard rock. They create a tight bond. I think also it's possible that you are afraid to open up to other friends or you're afraid to make new friends. I don't understand why, but you can't live your life without friends. Okay, growth. The tallest oak tree once started as a seed. Don't be afraid to start something new. I feel like you have somebody in your life that you're dying to be friends with and you're scared to let them in. Humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. Uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. This goes back to you not being able to see the big picture yet. You're so hung up on what happened that you're not seeing the big picture. It could have been a huge freaking blessing in disguise. It could have needed to happen for this person. Y'all might have had a soul contract and you already agreed on everything. All you're doing by hanging on to this, and when I say hanging on to this, I mean feel what you fucking feel. Be very, very angry about it. But then start the process of letting it go. You have no other option here. I mean, you do. It's to sit in the shit, but that's not fun. And you have a world of treasure waiting on you. So that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that I will see you in the next one. You might be a masculine watching. I don't know how to read this. Two significant things are coming out. I'm gonna try and touch on both of these storylines because it's going to be different depending on if you are a feminine energy watching and if you're a masculine energy watching. So I think, I'll forget. I'm going to have to do them side by side as I pick each card because I will totally forget the storyline. If you're the masculine, you're angry at a woman and I feel like it's a mother figure. If not, it's somebody who took advantage of you in a vulnerable state. And you're afraid to let the image that you have of them go because then you know how angry you would be. okay? Which puts you in the position of being Father of Pentacles, and you dealing with the addiction, okay? Now, for those of you that are the feminine watching, you have a male figure, probably a dad in your life, who punished you. Maybe the mother was involved. Oh my God. But, okay, both of these stories interconnect here in just a second. So please bear with me as I get my bearings and try to make sure I don't fuck this up for each of the storylines, because whatever you are, masculine or feminine, wherever it originates from, you, my darlings, are incredibly psychic. And you are meant to be so in tune spiritually. And this is sort of stopping the true spiritual awakening. And this deals with family and expansion. So it's directly involving family. If that's not relevant for you, I would go pick another number, because if you are the masculine, it deals more with the mother. If you're the feminine, it deals maybe with the mom, but with the dad. This is confusing. Okay. And you're, oh God, okay, for the masculine, I'm so sorry, this is so convoluted. For the masculine, I feel like somebody took advantage of you. You got mom issues for sure. But I feel like there was another female energy that took advantage of that situation. And if you see who they really were and what they really did to you, the anger and rage that you would feel. But because you know that, subconsciously you know that, because like I said, you're fucking psychic. Like, you are spiritual. Like, you are meant to be a seer. Because you know that, it's manifesting itself as depression, and it's keeping you stuck, because we have the Chariot here. Now, some people might look at this and be like, oh, that's good, Chariot, you're going for it. But no, because your horses are going in opposite directions, so really you're just not going anywhere. On the typical depiction, there's a white horse and a black horse. Now, you get the fucking horses going in the same direction and you're good to go. But if you have opposing ideas in your own head, then your horses are just gonna be like, ah, and where are you gonna go? Because nowhere, you're stuck. And then that's also backed up by Two of Pentacles here. It's like, what do I do? Like, you're juggling too much. And I also think you try to distract yourself. There's a profound sense of sadness happening. Oh, look at this. We also have Two of Wands. No, Two of Swords. So a lot of mental turmoil here. You live in your head and you're really fucked up in the head. And I say that with love. Now, if you are the feminine, all of this stands, okay? With this father energy. Okay. Where do I want to go from here? All right. I feel like you just live at rock bottom. I love you so much. We have rock bottom and it's in reverse. And then we have dry desert here. So it's like, despite how frequently you find yourself at rock bottom and you're like, how much lower could I go? You always get back there. Even if you climb yourself out, you always get back there. It's because you're not dealing with this shit. And it's like, the life that you want is always seemingly just out of reach. You know how much potential you have. Both feminine and masculine, whoever's watching, you know the potential that you have, and you don't do anything with it because you're stuck. You're stuck here. Okay. You also feel this need to protect yourself. Now, again, there's some whipping involved. There's some not good energy. There could be sexual abuse involved. And this goes for both of you, both energies. But it's, you're taking it out on the wrong people. There's people in your life that you're taking it out on because they're there for you to take it out on. And you feel like you have to protect yourself from them. But you know, in the back of your head, you know that that's false. And that's just stopping you. That's just stopping you from living your life. It's stopping you from reaching your potential. And in a way, you've built a safety net out of that. You built a safety net out of rock bottom. You don't go for your true potential, because if you don't bother going for your true potential, then you can only be mad at yourself and give yourself the excuse of, yeah, I didn't reach my potential, but that's because I didn't try, so fuck it. You're doing that. Okay. Here we go again with the stagnation. Okay. The Eight of Cups. Let me just read you this. I got the book out because I want to read you the message with this card from this deck. The Eight of Cups sends an urgent message to pack your bags and move on. There's no hope of rekindling what's been lost. You must start anew. This card also points to phases of illness and physical stagnation. The message could not be more clear. Nothing good remains for you here. Lift your eyes to the horizon and let your feet lead you forward. And you fucking know that. And you're probably saying, well, I feel stuck. I feel this. I feel that. It's because you're not tapping into your true power. You are refusing to see who and what you are. You are letting this shit stop you because it's comfortable for you. Because if you don't make those moves, then you can just say at the end of the day, well, no, I didn't make anything out of my life, but that's because I didn't try. And think about that. I know that you already have. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. It's like some days you want to move on, but then there's this comfort in sitting in your filth. Who is it that says if you sit in shit long enough, it stops stinking? Because that's kind of where you're at. It's like you don't even realize how low you are most of the time because you've gotten comfortable sitting there. Now let's talk about the wands, okay? We have 7 of wands in reverse. This is typically about struggle and inner conflict, but it also talks about courage and inner strength, sticking to your convictions, okay? A card of convictions. It's in reverse. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Kind of that energy. However, you have this passion in life, possibly 1 or 2 of them, and the flame for that is going to burn eternally. If you guys didn't watch the candle wax video, I'm getting heavy vibes, and maybe you did, and that would make this make sense. You're not following your heart. And what's so stupid is if you did, you would have success. We have 6 of wands. This is the card of victory and success, rising up, tangled branches, the butterfly just floating right up. Also read a book sort of similar to this. But you won't do it. Why? Okay, I feel like there's more. I feel like I need some clarifiers, but let's look at these. Okay. Love, compassion, release, commit, reflect, and unfinished. Your story is unfinished, and it's going to be unfinished, but you like it that way. That gives you comfort. But you have to commit to making it different. And that said, it was an urgent message. You are about to miss out on an opportunity or travel down a path of no return. I think that's where you're at in life. If you don't start stepping into your potential and making moves, you will get yourself to the point of no return. And it's almost like you're finding solace in that fact. Like you're comfortable doing that because it's easier. It's the fucking coward's way out. And I say that with love. You are so much better than being a coward. The fucking energy coming from the good parts of these cards is a force to be reckoned with. I'm very frustrated. Okay, opportunities, origins, remember your roots. I'll let that be the guiding force that you can come from all of this shit. Listen, opportunities, unfurl like a fern even without warm sunlight. Strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. And then we have remember your roots. Your roots are strong. This has all made you an incredibly strong person. And that's all backed up by these incredible, innate talents and gifts. Some people have to work. I fully believe that we can all be psychic and all have these powers or whatever, but some of us it comes easier to. And some of us spend our whole lives working for it. You don't have to work for it. You're just pushing it to the wayside. The fuck, man? Okay. Learn. Take a lesson from the owls, deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser in the day. Journey, reach out to new worlds. Clearance, make room for growth. Resilient, stay as strong as the evergreen trees. And dance. Allow yourself some fun each day, just as the sun dances with the moon each night. You have these passions that you want and that you miss, and you probably push the people that you love away, and you probably don't fucking go for the hobbies and shit that you know how to do, but I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Why are you even watching this? I'm just gonna pull. I'm gonna pull and see what else comes out. Anything else that group 4 needs to hear? I mean, I just want to give you a talking to at this point because I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. I don't understand why you're watching a video on this. It's because you sit in your fucking shit. You're like, oh, why am I so depressed? You already fucking know. Don't fucking play with me. That was too many. I got intense. We're gonna bring that back in. I'm so mad at you. Like with love. It's like an iron fist wrapped in velvet. I'm mad at you. Look, You don't want to see the future. You don't want this happy future. This is your happiness. It's all up in here, and you know it, and you won't step through the fucking door. But why? Okay, why? Let's get you to the root, because I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You're afraid it won't work out. You're afraid of being left out. I feel like you have a problem. That's probably one of your biggest anger triggers, is being left out. Okay, that's the root of it all. It's like, despite the fact that you know you have all this potential, there's just this sneaking suspicion that the people that you decide to give this love to are eventually going to abandon you or leave you out, and you don't want to be faced with that. So while you're such a strong and resilient person, again, you have a little bit of a coward's way of thinking. Is that because you have been incredibly hurt? Yeah, and your dad didn't help you either. Father of Swords, there's another masculine energy here. A very guarded person who probably didn't allow you to be, if you're the feminine now at this point, and it may be different for you, but there's an energy here. The parental figure that was around didn't allow you to be who you were, which is probably why, despite how fucking psychic and how in tune you can be, you're not, because you've had to shove down who you are at every fucking turn. I'm so mad at the people that raised you, and I'm so mad at you for wasting your potential. I love you so much, but it's very much like a mother's frustration right now that I'm feeling for you guys. Okay. Strength. I mean, you can do it. You can do it, but you won't. And I want you to look at this. Here we have the wilted rose. This is the card that talks about being afraid of being left out. And then we have strength, and he's got the rose in his mouth, and it ain't wilted. You lie to yourself. You lie to yourself so that you don't have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You're just sulking. Sad boy energy. Okay. What else? Death. You must transform, but that, you know that part. Okay. So then let's say you're left out in the cold. What's gonna happen? Let's face that fear head on, because that's what it all comes down to. You're afraid of your rose wilting. You're afraid of still being left out and abandoned. Solitude. Okay, so I feel like you are afraid of dying alone and heard. You're afraid of being alone with your thoughts. You're afraid of being alone with your thoughts. Oh my goodness, honeys. I'm going to read you the little page from this one as well. The Ten of Wands is a difficult card to face. Mental or physical burdens have been weighing on your spirit. Over time, this leads to hopelessness and depression. Duh. You simply can't get through to what you want. You cannot see the way. If this card appears in response to a person or situation, it may be best to simply walk away. But if this card comes up frequently, it indicates you are attracted to negativity and you choose to walk the hard road. Well, what have I been saying, partner? Okay, let's see what else. Judgment. Son of Pentacles. Oh, okay. This is for the masculine watching. Honey, I'm gonna read you about yourself, okay? Son of Pentacles. The good side of the Son of Pentacles is that he's loyal and determined. He's inventive and can be trusted wholeheartedly. But sometimes this figure becomes stubborn and persistent to a fault. This, combined with his quiet nature, results in his being hard to get to know and socially awkward at times. He commonly only has one or two close friends rather than many. Is this you? Okay, so then we have Judgment. You're afraid. You're afraid of being judged for who you are because you were grown up, you were raised in a system that didn't let you be who you are. I want to fucking kick your dad in the nads. Okay, you will not be judged for who you are. You are a gift to this world. You are a sight to be witnessed. What else? Look at this. There is this part of you that is so preciously innocent. And that's the little boy that you had to kill off because you felt like you couldn't be who you were. So you created a facade. You split yourself. So you couldn't be this, and you locked this up in a box. And you became this version of yourself that would please everybody around you, but you know that that's not who you are, and that's why you can't keep people close to you. I'm so mad. All right, what else? I mean, it's up to you at this point. turn your nose up at stuff that you know is good for you, that you know is going to force you to change your ways. Because you're comfortable. And duh, that's what helped you survive. I don't think you understand that you live in survival mode. Part of you is entirely self-aware. Dare I say too self-aware. But the other part of you is just like, it's lost on you. Daughter of Swords. There's a feminine energy. This is getting ready to open up a whole new fucking story that we're not. Okay. You know all of this. I didn't teach you anything new. So I guess that's where we leave it. I want to shake you. I want to tell you I'm proud of you. Because despite the fuckery that's happening here, it is the one and only thing that helped you survive your childhood. But please understand that you are an adult now. And you have such a beautiful life to live. And your talents are needed in this world. And you are needed in this world. And there are people that love you, that want to love you, that want to see who you really are. And don't throw that away. Don't throw that away because you're afraid of the door being slammed in your face and being left out or being abandoned or not being accepted for who you really are. The sweet, innocent, childlike version of you is so beautiful, and you have done a damn good job of protecting that. But it's okay to let that version of you out. It will be accepted, not by everybody, but we're not all accepted by everybody. That's just the nature of life. But it's safe for you to step back into who you are. Be that sweet and compassionate. I feel like you are just the sappiest, sweetest, most kindest, most gentle person, and you're scared to be that version of you, but the world needs that. The world needs that so bad right now. Oh my God. The world needs that. So please be who you are and feel safe in that. There's people out there that will love you. And there's people out there that will help you keep that part of you safe. Don't go anywhere. I feel like if you, I don't know, I feel like a lot of you guys think about, you know what I'm talking about, because you think about it. Oh my God, but this is just the most beautiful, that shit that you keep locked away is the most beautiful shit, and you know it. That's why you know that you have all this potential. That's why you know that you can heal and you can do these great things, because you know what you've been protecting. Didn't that come out, protecting treasure? Yeah, it did. You know what you've been protecting, and you know, I don't know, I feel like you play this weird mind game where you trick yourself into thinking that you're not worthy of love, but that's just because that part of you was rejected. It was almost like you were made to like be tough and tough it up. But that's bullshit. You survived that, and there are people in this world that will help you keep that part of you safe if they see it. It's such an overwhelming love. It's like the part of you that you locked away is pure love from the depths of what love is, and that is so powerful, and that's what I'm overwhelmed with emotion, because that's what I'm feeling. Like, that pure love is so beautiful, and the world needs it, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I love you so much, and I hope that I will see you in the next one, and thank you for letting me experience you. Okay.